Hello and welcome to my channel. Say hi to a happy day. In this channel, I would like to share tales and stories I personally picked and are my kids' favorite book stories. Let's enjoy listening while I read to you a book. I See the Moon. Have you ever glimpsed a silvery light through your curtains at night? Draw them back and you might see a full moon. It's the brightest object in the night sky. The moon is almost as old as planet Earth. Earth is 4 times bigger than the moon. So if you imagine our planet as a basketball, the moon would be roughly the size of a tennis ball. The moon was created in the early days of the solar system when the Earth was young. Astronomers think that 4.5 billion years ago, the Earth and the planet called Theia crashed into each other. During the collision, Earth and Theia joined to make one planet, and a massive cloud of dust, gas, and rock was created. It began to cool. The rock, dust, and gas spun very quickly around the young Earth. As they span, the pieces bumped into each other and stuck together to form the young moon. Slowly, the moon hardened into a small rocky bowl. From Earth, the moon looks as smooth and round as a marble. But if you look closely on a really clear night, you'll see marks from the space rocks that have crashed into it over billions of years. All that knocking around created huge mountains and enormous dips called craters. The darker parts of the moon are called Maria, which is the Latin word for seas. Astronomers once thought there had been water on the moon, but that it had dried up. Now they know that's not true. Between 4.2 and 1.2 billion years ago, when the moon was still young, fiery volcanoes spewed hot liquid called lava. When the lava cooled, it formed the Maria. Besides mountains and craters, you won't find much else on the moon. If you're looking for trees, water, or even clouds, you can forget about it. You might find a tiny amount of ancient ice and craters at the north and south poles, but not much else. Up close, this rocky ball is covered with powdery stuff called regolith, which is just plain old dust and rock. At night, the moon is colder than you could ever imagine. But when the sun shines, the moon becomes so hot, it's a boiling 248 degrees Fahrenheit. And there isn't any air on the moon, which is why astronomers have to wear special suits when they're walking on the surface. With no water, no clouds, no air, and no life, the moon has stayed unchanged in the night sky for billions of years. From Earth, we see only one side of the moon. We call it the near side because it faces us. The side of the moon that we never see is called the far side. Sometimes the near side of the moon is lit up and the far side is in darkness. And sometimes it is the other way around. The line where the light and the shadow meet is called the terminator. Although the moon shines brightly in the night sky, it doesn't make its own light. What we see is sunlight reflecting off the moon. The moon spins very slowly in space, taking about 27 days to make one rotation. This means one day on the moon is 27 Earth days. As the moon turns, it also moves around Earth on a journey called an orbit. It takes about 27 days for the moon to complete one orbit around Earth. Have you noticed that the moon seems to change shape a little every day? Sometimes it looks like a silver coin. Other times, the moon looks like a bright banana. This is really a trick of the light. As the moon travels around the Earth, the sun lights up different parts of it. The part of the moon we can see changes a little every day. The shapes we see are called phases. When the sun lights up the whole far side of the moon, the side facing us looks dark. This is a new moon. And sometimes the moon looks like a shiny banana. This is a crescent moon. A quarter moon happens when roughly half of the side facing us is lit up, and a gibbous moon is when more than half of it is lit up. When a moon seems to grow bigger, it's called waxing. When it appears to grow smaller, we say it is waning. A full moon happens when the sun lights up the whole side of the moon that is facing us. Which face of the moon can you see tonight? I hope you enjoy listening to the book, I See the Moon. Please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to listen to more of our favorite book stories. See you soon!